automated call stops on public transit are an excellent example of how the city has used technology to improve the rider experiences and for both customers with vision loss and also the general population. What else would you do to make the transit system more accessible to Toronto of persons with disabilities?
Thank you for the question. Joe Pantalone, you're up first.
Well, obviously you have to make subway stations accessible. The problem is that previous governments, Mr. Rossi is a Liberal, the Liberal Party federally for a long time didn't believe, Mr. Chrétien and others, that municipalities should get money for transit. So therefore, when he asked about retrofitting a subway station, it took about $10 million per station to do it. How do you do that if the government that Mr. Rossi belonged to, because of his political party federally, didn't give us the money, or the government that Mr. Smitherman lived in actually reduced the amount of money they give the TDC to run? Because you know what? If we have the $256 million, which is a downloaded cost from Mike Harris, which we're still stuck with, we could do those things. The idea that you sell everything, Toronto Hydro, like Mr. Rossi wants to do, and somehow, he make do, is absurd. It doesn't work. That's
time, thanks, Mr. Pantalone. That's what I think the
solution is. Thank you.
Thank you. Rocco Rossi, you're next.
Unfortunately, too much of the money that was sent to the city ended up wasted by Mr. Pantalone and his administration on things like Peter Street, on things like the right-of-way on St. Clair that started at $43 million, ended up at $120 million, not finished. The Union Station platform extension that started at $90 million ended up at $140 million. But let's get beyond that. Let's answer the question and say, look, we need to manage, we need to put a plan together. We need to work with the community because, quite frankly, you know better than I do what specific changes will make the biggest difference. Yes, we have to retrofit our stations, starting with the key ones in the hospital district to ensure that every single one is accessible for those who require it. Secondly, we need to be ensuring that as we purchase going forward, again, some of the questions that have already been asked.
That's time, Mr. Rossi. Sorry. George Smitherman, you're next.
Yes, I think, subway stations has been very well covered in several answers as a priority. I do think that the use of technology, including online tools and telephone-based tools, including Wheel-Trans, which I get a lot of feedback around, are areas where I think technology can be used to improve the nature of their service. I think that another area is what I'm not sure what it's referred to, I'll call it floor-based wayfinding, is that I've noticed that many jurisdictions do a better job than we do at embedding into the flooring the kind of, I guess, braille-like signals that visually impaired individuals would gain advantage from. These are, I think, some of the things that we can have as improved standards. We have to be committed across the breadth of our city to enhance standards of accessibility, and the TTC is an important part of that. One place of only many where we spend money on infrastructure each and every year.
Thank you, Mr. Smitherman. Sarah Thomson.
Well, I'm not going to pretend that I have all the answers. I don't. But what I do believe in is opening up the doors and listening and going to the people that have the issues and asking them, what do you see as answers? I think that's extremely important. We have a culture at City Hall that doesn't listen, and we have to turn that around. It's not going to be easy, but if we can work together in solving the problems, in the how-to, because there's a lot of policy out there that's policy level, and it never gets acted on, it never gets created, because the how-to and the questioning of the people never gets done. So there might be policy there, but it never flows through into actual form and function. So I believe we have to listen, we have to ask the questions, and we have to have an open door policy. I want to put the councillors back into the wards one day a week and have them actually talking to their constituents and listening.
Thank you, Ms. Thomson. Giorgio Mammoliti.
We've been in this debate now for about 7 months, and I'm getting very frustrated in listening to my colleagues. All they're doing is bashing each other and and all they're doing is bashing the past, and all they're doing is bashing councillors. None of them have come up with logical solutions to problems. We've got a serious issue here and a serious question. And the question is, what is it that we want to do? And that's what people want to hear us talk about up here. And in this particular case, there is technology. And we should be saying, instead of bashing each other, we should be saying, this is what we will do. Technology should be implemented to make sure that the disabled can get around easily in this city. Whether it's transportation or whether it's simple intersections where people can actually listen to devices to get them across the street. That's what we should be doing in this debate. It's frustrating to hear my colleagues go after the jugular, especially in a debate like this one.
Thank you, candidates.